I'm waiting for my painting of my sunflower to dry, and I'm going to take this opportunity to read to you my picture book, The Donkey Song. Now I am an artist, but I did not do the pictures, the art for this book. Someone who was better at doing this kind of art, this illustration, did it. It's very important. You know, God in the Bible, Jesus, it says, I think it must have been Paul that said this: everyone has a talent. Everyone has a talent. Everyone has a talent. And it's talking about the body. Some people are the head. Some people are the eyes. Some people are the arms. Some people are the nose. Some people are the feet. I'm an artist, but I could not have done these pictures. So it's important in life to recognize when somebody else can do something better, because there are other people who have talents too. And some of the most magical things happen when people put their talents together and blend them. But anyway, a girl, much younger than I am, Sydney Hanson, did these pictures, did the artwork, and I just wrote the words. That's all. But I've already said this, and this is an amazing thing. I did not talk to Sydney Hanson. My editor gave my manuscript, my words, to Sydney, and allowed her to interpret my words the way that she saw them. One of the most miraculous things that happened is that Sydney realized that I was talking about a donkey, I was talking about wise men, I was talking about a stable, but above all else, I was talking about light, bringing light into the world. And Sydney neither one of us really said that. Well, actually, I did say a few things about light. Another thing she did, my book doesn't talk at all about a little mouse. And Sydney, if I can find her or not, Sydney drew this little mouse in a lot of different pictures. And I guess I like the mouse just as much, maybe more than I do there she is, there he is, whatever, who he is, the little mouse. It's on the title page. That's Sydney, not Jackie. It's us together, teamwork. The Donkey Song. Okay, it's talking about, it starts out at nighttime. Mary and Joseph on a donkey are traveling toward Bethlehem. If I can get the light off of it. Sleepy but strong, I clip-clopped along to rest in a stable with straw. No room for a bed, I stood near instead and listened and sniffed as I saw a bit of the forest, a bit of its trees, a bit of a tingle my toes. That's how the evergreen smelled to me. A bit of fresh pine to my nose. A bit of a prickle, a bit of a poke, a flicker of warm candlelight. A bit of a manger, a bit of snug hay, a bit of a soft, silent night. A wee bitty baby all wrapped in white cloth, a bit of a barn gathered round. A bit of a star, a bit of a moon, a bit of a sweet angel sound. A bit of a lamb, all covered in fleece, and shepherds on hills far away. As 3 wise men rode, free presents they towed, a bit of the night turned to day. All entered the stable and circled the babe. As sunlight beamed in on his face, I lifted my head above his hay bed. And sang of this morning of grace. As I said before I started reading, this book is about light. It's about God's light. God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten Son. And Jesus was the light of the world. A wee bitty baby, all wrapped in white cloth, a bit of a barn gathered round, a bit of a star, a bit of a moon, a bit of a sweet angel sound. I want to say something about this. I wrote this, I actually put these words to paper when I was pretty old, actually. But I wrote this book when I was a child. When I was a child, we didn't have this. I lived in a farm community. About all we had were cotton patches and a little tiny grocery store, a little dime store where I could go look at the toys. I didn't get many toys when I was a child. We took a few vacations, but everything was in my town. My life consisted of going to school and going to Bible school when I was during the summer, going to church. And our church, when I was a child, every Christmas had a nativity play. And you couldn't have told me that wasn't Broadway and I wasn't a great star, because from the time I was just an angel standing in the very back row to the time I was maybe Mary. I don't know if I ever got to be Mary or not. But I felt that story. I could just imagine those wise men riding across the desert carrying gifts. And it filled me with such an incredible amount of feelings that I never actually forgot that. I'm saying that because children, when they're children, write their books. They paint their paintings when they may not actually put them on paper until later, but right now, you are filling your spiritual and emotional bank with the feelings that you'll draw from the rest of your life. And it doesn't have to be fancy feelings. You don't have to go to Disneyland. I am proof of that. Look at the little things. Look at the stars. Look at the moon. Look at the light. And feel about that. Don't just look. See it. See the things around you. Fill your heart with that. And when you're older, And if you're very fortunate, and if God helps you, you may be able to capture that on paper. I often say that my book was a miracle, and it was a miracle. This book didn't get published until I was over 70. And so I'm trying to think, 72, I think. But I wrote it when I was a child. I felt it when I was a child. And by the grace of God, I was able to remember what I had felt when I was a child and capture that on paper. You can do that too.